School, where we're getting set here for the starting lineups. First for the Buckeye Trail Warriors, they're going to start out with number 5, Jason Lynn. He's a 5'11" junior. And as we said, the word senior, as far as Buckeye Trail is concerned, will not come out of our mouth very often. Number 22 is Trace Colvin, a 5'8" sophomore. Number 32 is Kyle Carpenter, a 6'2" freshman. Number 33 is Brian Carpenter, a 6'1" junior. And rounding it out, number 34, Carson Williams, the transfer in from Cambridge. He's a 6'3" senior for Dave Lynn and his Buckeye Trail Warriors, as we said, who come in with a 5-15 record. He's assisted by Chris Starr, who wasn't a bad ball player in his own right. And also Mike Beaver, Scott Loomis, Steve Beskid, and Chad Markle. For the Garaway Pirates, John Hisrich, number 4, 5'7" senior. Number 23 is Mike Felton, a 6' senior, and he's been playing very well this year. Number 25 is the sophomore Ryan Gerber, 6 foot. Number 34, John Regula, 6'5" junior. And rounding it out, the big man in the middle, number 40, Tyler Renner, 6'6" junior. So the Garaway Pirates, fairly young ball club themselves, Scott.
Yeah, they're young enough. You'll see them go far again next year. But there's 2 seniors starting tonight, John Hisrich and Mike Felton. We had their game against Highland, and they both performed excellent in that game. And I'm sure Coach Bartle's looking for the same thing out of them tonight.
Guys in charge tonight in stripes, Mr. Andy Cross, Joe Hissam, and yes, the man with the basketball walking into your screen as we speak, that is White Lightning, Charlie Jones. Folks, you may need to turn the speed up on your VCR to keep up with Charlie's wicked movements out on the court. And just for giggles, you might want to just count how many times he blows his whistle tonight. There's one. That might be it. We're all set for Division III sectional action, and the ball's in the air, and Garaway controls the opening tip. And they'll quickly push it into the front court. Pirates got to think, want to get Renner off to the big start. Regula will take 17-footer and drops it.
Yeah, Regula, that's that high-low post you're talking right there. If they can continue to keep the ball between those 2 big men, they're going to dominate this game tonight.
So Garaway jumps out early in this one, and now Buckeye Trail with their first offensive possession. Handling the point will be Colvin. That's Carson Williams on the wing.
Garaway sitting in their man-to-man.
Of course, as is usual, Garaway with the height advantage. Probably don't run into many teams around here who they're smaller than.
No, I think you can go some Division I, Division IIs are bigger than them.
Colvin throws it up, doesn't get it to go, and Tyler Renner brings down his first rebound. And now Garaway will come back into the offensive end.
Surprised Regula didn't square up right there and think about that 3. He was nailing that shot in warm-up.
19-1, the Pirates this regular season. Their only loss, 4th game of the year against Tusky Valley, 44-41. A lot of people were anticipating a matchup somewhere down the road between the 2 ball clubs. Sandy Valley said they don't think so. Gerber with it in the corner. High post down into Renner, turns, squares, goes up through Buckeye Trail and puts it in.
That's one of those, you get the ball down there, Tyler Renner just count the basket. No sense fouling him. He's strong enough. You can grab a hold of his arm. He's still going to get it up to the rim.
Scott, last time we worked together was out at Highland as that foul was on Jason Lynn, and Tyler Renner just kind of drove that game, didn't he?
Yeah, he took over on the boards, the points. I mean, he had a complete game out there.
Misses the free throw. Garaway up 4-0 here, 6.5 to play in period number 1. Nice crowd here tonight. Carson Williams, no sir, as Renner gets the rejection on that one, and quickly the Pirates come in transition. Now they're going to back it out, set the offense up, and why not? Their 2 offensive possessions so far have looked very solid. Down into Renner, up. This time Andy Cross will say it was on the floor, and it'll be Garaway possession underneath.
Yeah, that time Brian Carpenter was caught out of position. Nice look by Regula into Tyler Renner. Got the ball, went in strong, but he was fouled while on the floor.
Buckeye Trail going to have to figure out a way to handle the 6'6" junior, because right now he's got his game in flow. Regula, they're going to say shuffled him before he got started, and we'll go the other way.
There's a positive for Buckeye Trail. Good defensive stand.
In years past, the Achilles heel with Garaway was the guards. If you could pressure him, you stood a good chance of beating him. This year, nobody's been able to do that.
No, you put a press on them this year, they'll throw over top or dribble through you and get easy layups.
Looking for the 5-second call. Here's Felton as they force the runner. No good. Williams with it underneath. He's going to take it up against Renner. Doesn't get it to go. Rebound loose on the floor. Who's got it? Both teams do. Alternating possession will keep it with Buckeye Trail.
Good job that time by Buckeye Trail, just trying to keep that ball alive, and there Renner couldn't get a clean hand on it.
Taking a look at both of the ball clubs. As that ball is thrown into the back court, he can pick that up without penalty, and he didn't know it.
He didn't know that. It wasn't touched in the front court. You're right, Roger. He could have picked that ball up.
Joe Hisson right here. Now, Andy Cross, I think, is going to come down and say, yeah, the ball gets inbounded at the other end of the floor. It's still Garaway's ball, but because nobody touched it, it goes back to that point. But, yeah, the young man just didn't know that he could pick that up without penalty. That's youth, Scott. Like we said, Buckeye Trail's young.
You're right.
Trail now extending their defense a little bit. Gerber thought about the three and instead gets it over to Hisrich.
I'm sure the game plan here earlier, Garaway's pound the ball inside. They've had a few looks at the threes and nobody's putting them up.
Regular on the left wing, or on the right wing, excuse me. Gerber now top of the key. Threes in the air, back rim, no good. Rebound down to the Warriors and Brian Carpenter. Quickly a run out, but Renner paying attention. Does a nice job of getting it over to Hisrich because he probably would have walked if he came down. Felton down into the post, Renner again, and he's going to get a bucket and change.
There it is right there. They're running all over the floor. They're trying to front him, but Garaway will throw over top of that all night. Prime example right there.
Renner will head back to the free throw line where he missed his only attempt so far tonight. Doing a nice job, like you said, Scott. They're fighting around to front him, and all they're doing is simply taking the ball right back to the point, and he's got his guys sealed.
Yeah, if you front him on the right wing, all you got to do is swing it around, and either from the top of the key or the left wing, he's going to be wide open.
Tyler Renner 7, Buckeye Trail nothing, as we are 4 minutes into this one. Actually, 3 minutes. I'll work on my math here. Trail now in their half-court set. That one's stolen by Regular. Regular going to come down, go hard to the rim. Lays it up, doesn't go. Felton with the change.
There you see the good hustle by Felton following that up. Regular. Looked like he may have been.
And now we get a turnover down on the baseline, and it's going to go over to Garaway. But before that happens, Dave Lynn is going to get himself a timeout and settle his troops down. And just like we saw Scott a couple weeks ago out Highland, just coming out and setting the pace.
Yeah, Garaway's got a good enough defense. They can shut you down anyway without the mistakes they just made. It appeared as though Jason Lynn was going to take the ball in bounds, which he's not supposed to do. Carson Williams must be the man. He got the ball from Lynn, who was already standing out of bounds, and then stepped out of bounds, which means falls out of bounds. Garaway's ball. I mean, those are the mistakes you can't have because this Garaway defense is going to pester you all night long anyway.
Garaway defense is very good. They're holding opponents to less than 36 a game. And I'll tell you what, when you hold a team to 36, you aren't going to lose very often, and they only lost once all year. I mean, you look at some of the numbers defensively, just in the last 6 ball games that they've played, the most points they've given up has been 38. And that was the Canton Valley, and that game was over after the jump ball went up. Gerber going to re-center it. Now Garaway into their offense.
Nathan Miller checked into the game for John Hisrich. Running the point now.
Regula on the wing. He'll put it on the floor, go baseline, takes it up, gets it blocked by the backboard, and Buckeye Trail pick up the loose ball. Trail going to take the three, and that's Kyle Carpenter, and he gets it to roll down. So Buckeye Trail now on the scoreboard. 9-3, Garaway on top. 4 minutes into the first period, Trail gets their first bucket. Renner now on the baseline, puts it on the floor, goes baseline, lays it up, but draws another foul. Right now, Tyler Renner, he owns the space in the lane.
And they got the 6'1" Brian Carpenter on him, who they have a 6'3" guy, but I guess they're putting him on regular. They feel he can do better damage on him, but Tyler Renner will just sit in that paint all night long and dominate this game.
Carpenter picks up his second foul as we see Tommy Maloney for the first time for Garaway. John Reggie will get a blow. And Kyle Bates checks in for Buckeye Trail, 5'10" junior. And he'll replace Brian Carpenter, as we said, with the 2 fouls. Renner's second. In the air and good. So Renner now 3 for 4 from the line, pushes that lead out to 10-3 for Garaway at 3:46. That tipped out of bounds by Gerber, and I almost thought that might have went off of Lynn's hands.
It looked like it was very close, but the official was standing right there, so we'll give him benefit.
Lynn with it. He's being defended tightly by Nathan Miller. Oddly enough, Carson Williams playing a long way away from the bucket. You would think Buckeye Trail might want to counter Renner, maybe get him in some foul trouble by posting Williams.
It's a good idea. That's about the only way I think you can beat these Pirates. You get Gerber, Renner, Regula, Hisrick, foul them all out, and you might have a chance.
Hey, might have a pretty decent chance at that. Trail right now content with just moving the ball on the perimeter as we tick under 3 minutes to go here in the first period. Now we see a little bit of penetration and forcing it up as Lynn doesn't go. Gerber with the rebound, and Garaway will run the floor. Quickly down into Renner on the block. He's doubled. He'll kick it right back out. Miller with it. Now they get the quick reversal. Felton puts it on the floor, goes baseline, gets his shot blocked. And Buckeye Trail got a chance to run some transition. Lynn dumps it in the high post, but the Pirates are going to pick up their first foul, and that will be on Ryan Gerber.
Ryan that time, he came over the top, got him with a little bit of body. It looked like he picked the ball clean, but so far it's been a fairly clean game.
Yeah.
You will have that.
Yeah, exactly. And, of course, when you get tournament time, you get defensive struggles.
Yeah.
You know, the games are much more low scoring. You'll see a lot. You don't see as much up and down play as what you might see in the regular season. And when you're a team like Garaway, as we said, who's as strong as they are defensively, that's a big bonus. Down into the post. Foul on the floor before Kyle Carpenter could get it in the air.
Yeah, that time between Nathan Miller and Tommy Maloney, they were both caught out of position a little bit, did the smart thing, didn't give him the easy layup, committed the foul.
Nathan Miller picks up that foul, 5'10" junior. Carpenter's shot on the baseline drops for him, so Kyle Carpenter with all 5 of Buckeye Trail's points.
Laurie Yoder's checked into the game for Garaway. Hisrick also back into the game.
Nathan Miller in that point slot. Hisrich on the wing. Hisrich doesn't score much, but boy, you know when he's not on the floor. He is the steadying influence on this Pirate ball club.
Definitely the general of the ship.
Maloney with it. That pass, Hisrich was going one way and the pass was sent the other, and that'll be a turnover on the Pirates.
That time Renner was off the floor, and it appeared as though Buckeye Trail set back in a 2-3 zone, which you'd think they'd want to do that when Tyler's on the field court, which he's now on. See what happens next time down.
Somewhere down the line in this tournament, Trail, you know Garaway's going to have to prove they can shoot the 3.
Definitely.
That went into Carson Williams. They're going to say Regula was holding him. That'll be the 3rd team foul on the Garaway Pirates and the 1st on John Regula. Ryan Gerber checks back in, and who's he in for? He is going to be in for Nathan Miller. 1:29 to play in period number 1. Garaway on top 11-5. Not too often Garaway goes on an 18-0 spurt. They just kind of methodically just put a 6-point run together here, and now they're going to say a walk on Lynn.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to create a shot. They could have got him on a push-off, it looked like, but they called the traveling. Either way, Garaway ball.
Garaway quickly up the floor with the sideline fast break. Rega thought about it. Of course, the left-hander helps too, being 6'5". He tried to dump that one down in. Nice job by Carson Williams on the defense. Williams will go the other way. Gets into the lane. They're going to call the block, and he'll head to the free throw line. Hisrich will pick up the foul, I do believe.
Foul's even out at 4 now. Garaway still leading 11-5 with a minute to go in the quarter.
Williams down at that free throw line. Lefty gets the first one. Of course, we saw last night in that New Cumberstown game how important the free throw line becomes in tournament time. Williams gets them both. 11-7 now, the Garaway advantage. We're under a minute to play in quarter number 1. Gerber on the floor. Now he'll kick it back out. Ari Yoder with it. Pirates not getting a whole lot of movement right now in their half court. Regula with it, 17-footer off the window and in.
Tell you, John Regula, I mean, Tyler Renner is definitely the stud of this team, but John Regula playing on any other team would be the #1 go-to man. He is smooth, he can score, he rebounds, he runs the court well. All-around great player. Looks like they're setting up the last shot, 15 seconds to go in the quarter.
Buckeye Trail, of course, the way they started out, getting down 7-0 early, if they could go down no worse than 6 to that second period, I think they'd have to be happy. 3 seconds on the clock. The runner won't go, but getting bailed out was Kyle Carpenter, and the good folks from Sweetwater didn't like that one.
Yeah, 1.2 seconds left. You know, we're down there in the court, but it looked like it might have been a clean block.
One thing coaches detest is if their player goes straight up and down, the offensive player initiates the contact, they either want a no call or a call on the offensive guy.
Coach Bardell's letting them know that, too.
1.2 seconds on the clock as Carpenter missed the first. His second up and good. 13-8. Quickly running out. Regula from half court. Doesn't get it. We've come to the end of the first quarter of action here at the Division III Sectional in Dover. The Garaway Pirates out on top of Buckeye Trail, 13-8. We'll be right back after you watch this. Welcome back to Dover High School, where the official whistle count for Charlie Jones is up to 2. He blew it to start the game, and then when Buckeye Trail called that timeout, he did blow his whistle there. So up 3, there we go.
Hey, he's hot tonight. To go, Roger. You know, he's a busy man.
Pirates start this second period up 13-8 as they were led in that first period by the 9 from Tyler Renner. Hisrich with it on the wing. Actually, the 7 by Tyler Renner. I take that back. That shot in the lane.
Tyler Renner is now with up to 9.
So Tyler Renner, he knew 9 was coming in. It was just a safe bet. 15-8, the Pirates on top, just underway in quarter 2. Roger Dominic, Scott Beitzel, Sharon Hagopian directing as that one is taken away by Felton, 2-on-1. Now he's going to back it out as nice hustle back by the Warriors to even out the numbers.
Very unusual stat in the first half, or first quarter. Garaway with only 14 rebounds to Buckeye Trail's 5. That won't last long either, I don't believe.
Yeah, really. Of course, Garaway shot it pretty well, too, and that will attribute to the lower numbers. Renner going to take 15-footer, back rim, no good. Gerber with the rebound, back up, no good. Now it comes into the hands of Regula, and he'll put it in. John Regula now with 6 in the ball game.
And there, Ryan Gerber showing his ability to get inside as well as play the outside.
He got some pretty good hops, doesn't he? Carson Williams in there, throws it up with the left hand and gets it to go, and he's trying to deal with that size, not doing too bad as Regula's got it now quickly the other way. Gerber now on the wing. He'll go baseline, takes it up strong off the window and gets it to go. Ryan Gerber in the books, 19-10, Garaway on top. Lynn puts it on the floor, going to take the 17-footer and knocks it down. All of a sudden, we're in a shooting match.
And Garaway can play just about any kind of ball with it. You want to run with him. Hey, remember out of Highland, Tyler Renner was the first man down court every time getting them easy bunny baskets.
Renner, nice job collecting himself and then up strong. Tyler Renner Unstoppable when he gets it that deep.
Yeah, the kid's got a game. You let him get the ball on the block like that. They even had double team on him. As you said, he lost his balance and still went up strong and converted.
And folks, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ought to see the young man throw a curveball.
Yeah.
From stories I hear, it's somewhat scary. That one is taken away by Ryan Gerber. Nice job with the active hands. And then we're going to get a call, and that will be against Trace Colvin, and that will be his first. 15th foul on Buckeye Trail as Nathan Miller checks back into the ball game. Pirates almost have a methodical presence about them. They just come out, they approach it like a business, and next thing you know, they're up 14, 16 points. Gerber going to use the dribble again, gets it to Regula in the corner. Now they'll skip it across. Renner again. Hotel Renner down there is open for business, only this time he misses, then steals it, takes it away, powers it up, and he'll head to the free throw line.
They're calling a jump ball. I don't know where that came from.
Okay, Andy Cross says it's a jump ball.
It looked like Tyler was fouled on his first shot attempt. He did a good job getting the ball back, and I don't know where the jump ball came in at.
Scott Bardall doesn't protest too much, so we've got to go with it. We were blocked from up here. But in any case, nice job by Buckeye Trail then as they take over on the alternating possession. Score remains 21-12 Garaway. Just under 5 to play in the first half. Trail being forced an awful long way away from their bucket in the half court.
They're not getting anything down. There's that defensive prowess of Garaway, as we talked about before. I mean, they can force a team into things they're not used to doing.
Not only are they big, they're athletic. That one's going to be poked away, but the foul will be called, and that will be on Mike Felton. That'll be his first and the team's sixth. Lynn will inbound the basketball under his own bucket. Gets it in, Carson Williams against Renner, puts it up. That one was blocked, but Joe Hisson says he got part of the body.
To me, it looks like Carson Williams, I mean, appears as though their strategy may be to bump into Tyler Renner, which, I mean, you can see it from here playing today. He was putting his shoulder down, trying to run him over, and Tyler just trying to hold his ground. And with those long arms, he got the block. I mean,
right, exactly. Tyler Renner, in any case, picks up his second foul, which could be huge, as Carson Williams makes the first one. And we said earlier, Scotty, you get some of these guys in foul trouble. That's the one place where basketball differs from football, the foul trouble. That's how you can even up a game real quick. Second one from Williams is good. He's 4 for 4 from the line tonight. 21-14. So we mark it down, 4:10 of the second quarter. Renner goes out. They're up by 7. Garaway now, here's Rich telling him to back it out and set the offense.
Yeah, I'm sure now Tyler's sitting on the bench here in no real hurry.
Putting it on the floor and having it taken away was Gerber, but then the Pirates get it right back. Gerber from about 23 in the air, no good. Miller with the rebound.
Good offensive series, right? No buckets yet, but reverse the turnover. Good offensive rebound.
You got to think Regula might become the go-to guy now. Staying in that high post.
I say he's working the high post. Ari Yoder's in the low post.
Regula gets it back over to Miller. As you said, with Renner on the bench, I don't think the Pirates would mind taking a minute or so out the clock on the possession. Regula foot on the line, so it'll count for 2. Doesn't go. Chased down and out of bounds, and it will go over to Buckeye Trail. And quickly, we see Tyler Renner come right back in the ball game. So 3:02, they bring Renner back in with his 2 fouls.
I'm sure Coach Bartle just set him down and said, hey, they're calling it close inside. just keep staying on your ground. Don't jump. Don't try to block any shots. Can't afford you to pick up your third here in the first half.
And I got to think, if I'm Dave Lynn of Buckeye Trail, I get Carson Williams on that block and we go at him.
That's what I would do.
Of course, now we see the change in the matchup is now Renner on Kyle Carpenter, the freshman, and they moved Regula over to Carson Williams.
Hey, the freshman had good presence. Looked like he was going to take it right at Tyler Renner, but ditched it out.
Freshman has 6 in the ball game, including a 3. 2.5 minutes to go in the game. 5 touchdowns total have been scored as it's 21-14, Garaway on top. Trail right now going basically with a one-man post kind of look and just trying to penetrate, but they're not doing a whole lot of penetrating. Now they got all kinds of trouble. And what do we get here? Joe Hisson said there's a turnover of some sort. In any case, Garaway has the ball. Is that what it was? Over and back? Yeah. Okay. They were flirting awful dangerous with that half-court line.
Garaway's defensive end of the side, I'm sure they don't mind them trying to run that weave on them. They're not going to get an easy layup against this Garaway Pirate defense.
Miller mad there because he missed Renner wide open again in the post. I'm telling you, folks, they're fronting here. When they reverse it, Renner is wide open. Is Gerber going to take the little 10-footer on the baseline? Doesn't get it to go. And Trail with a nice job checking out.
Yeah, it's about the only way you're going to out-rebound this team, which we've been overlooking, is they are checking out on the inside.
Skipped across now. As with it is Matt Lashley, 5'8" junior.
Another over and back.
That's tipped.
Hey, you play out front court like you're flirting with that.
Well, exactly. And we mentioned earlier, Scott, how far out Buckeye Trail's offense had been pushed. And yeah, once you cross that line, you can't go back.
Maybe they're just playing them small gyms where you're allowed to use the whole court.
That's what we were talking about that the other night, about how you couldn't take a shot from the top of the key because you'd be out of bounds on the other end. Here's Rich putting it on the floor now, backing out. Lump down and dump down into Renner. Catches, gets his own rebound, right back at it again, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
And there are all you young, big kids out there. You see how Tyler did that. He never brought the ball down. He kept that ball up as high as he could all the time. You bring it down, the littler guys have a chance to reach in there and poke it away from you. You keep it up, they can't reach it.
Get a good look at the 6'6" junior right there on your screen. Young man is skilled, there is no doubt. He finishes it off. 24-14 as Tyler now will head to the bench for that last minute 5. Good substitution by Scott Bardall.
Yeah, the last thing Coach Bardall wanted right there was a third personal on Tyler.
Knocked away
by Hisrick. There's his ability.
Gerber now, you might think the Pirates, now that they're set, they might play for one here, Scott.
Yeah, it looks like they're pulling out, going to the little weave themselves.
Gerber with it, handling out around the timeline. Miller almost got himself in trouble. Tell you what, Ryan Gerber, remember, he's just sophomore.
Yeah, he played a lot as a freshman. I mean, he had a lot of raw talent then, and now he's 6 foot tall and only a sophomore. This kid's going to be a stud his senior year when he loses all the trees.
Exactly. You know, in a perfect scenario, too, Scott, bring him along where he doesn't have to carry anything. He can just fit into the mold, and then come his senior year, you better believe it's going to be his show. Yeah, I'll tell you what, yeah, he keeps growing and he keeps bulking up. He's going to be a problem for the IVC. Gerber with it, now gets into the lane, kicks it out. Jumper from the baseline is regular, and boy, that's smooth as silk.
Perfect.
Quickly down the other end, thrown up, almost goes in, but just short. We've come to the end of the first half of play here at Dover High School, where the Garaway Pirates have built a 12-point lead over Buckeye Trail, 26-14. We'll be right back with our halftime stats and take a look at the third quarter of action here in Dover. The second half, they come out with their starting 5 of Felton, Hisrich, Renner, Gerber, and Regula. Countering for Buckeye Trail, I see Lynn on the floor along with Carson Williams, Kyle Carpenter, and Brian Carpenter also on the floor, and as well Trace Colvin. 2 fouls on Brian Carpenter for Buckeye Trail is the only trouble for them to speak of, along with 2 also on Trace Colvin.
Yeah, and Brian Carpenter got his 2 fouls fairly early also. He didn't see much action in that first half, and he must be a strong individual because they were trying to body him on Tyler Renner.
Renner right back down on the block, turning around, goes up and in, and he starts the second half the way he played the first, right at home on the little red block. Garaway now trying to extend the floor a little bit. Trail does a nice job of breaking that pressure down. As we've said all year long, teams struggle to score points against this Garaway Pirate Ball Club.
Yeah, well, the guards are good enough out front. They're quick enough. As you saw right there, hits are sticking in, getting a nice little knock away.
Pirates force another turnover for Buckeye Trail, and half-court turnovers always kill you because, you know, you never get a shot out of that possession. And in a game like this, it's a low-number possession game. That can be death.
Yeah, if you get a possession against this team, you better convert.
Renner does a nice job of gathering himself, gets in the lane. They're going to say it's a jump ball. It goes over to Buckeye Trail.
And that one I can see the jump ball. That's one they called in the first half. I don't know where they came up with the jump ball.
That's because Sharon does a nice job with the camera work. You know, gotta give credit where credit's due.
That's right.
Trail now crosses the timeline. Colvin puts it on the floor, gets to the rim, doesn't go. Renner with the rebound. Garaway's got numbers if they choose to push. Regular on the wing goes baseline reverse, and that was too easy.
Nice little reverse that time. Regular. Sure, a lot of people forget he's left-handed. I mean, that right there was routine for him.
Yeah.
Beautiful looking drive, easy lay-in.
30-14, the Pirates out on top at the 6.5-minute mark of period number 3. And as we were talking, Scott, at halftime, 16-point lead for Garaway is like a 20, 30-point lead for an up-tempo team.
Yeah, you're not going to get back in this easy.
Nice job by Regular to knock that one away from Carson Williams, and the Pirates are off and running.
That's the point I was going to make earlier, right? The guards are quick enough and strong enough outside, but even if you beat one of them, you still got to get through Regula and Renner.
Regular takes a little jump stop in the lane. He'll draw the foul and head to the free throw line.
They still got to get through Regular and Renner, which they haven't been able to do all years. I mean, this is just a total package team right here.
Timeout now for Buckeye Trail as they want to talk it over. And during this timeout, I'd like to remind you that tonight's game and no delayed or rebroadcast is authorized without the written permission of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, which we do have.
Don't you people be trying to tape this and make fun of us during this. We will too.
Regular knocks the first one down. I think Johnny Cochran wrote that mess.
Yeah, somebody.
Woo! A lot of verbiage in there.
You did an outstanding job reading.
Thank you. Some of those, you know, anytime you get up above 2 or 3 syllables, I got problems. Is 32-14 as Buckeye Trail could pick up a cheap one here, and they will, as Brian Carpenter lays it in and gets fouled. It's a step in the right direction for Buckeye Trail.
Yeah, and it appears as though that must have been John Regula's man. He almost made the steal at the other end, but he got himself out of position, left his man down on the other end easy for the easy open.
Hisrich picks up the foul. That's his second. Too often usually Garaway give up an easy bucket like that. Carpenter, Brian that is, finishes off the three-point play. 32-17 Garaway. Gerber into the lane, lays it up off the window, no good. Regular rebound, put back and got it. White Lightning dancing across the floor on that one.
Charlie liked that play.
Well, if one doesn't get you, the other one will. And with Regular and Renner, I tell you what, folks, pretty nice twosome.
Yeah, we had a perfect look at it from our angle. And Regular had the whole middle taken up, and Renner had the whole backside of the shot taken up. It's hard to get a rebound against this team.
Regular finishes off the three-point play. Quickly ahead, Carpenter with it again, lays it up off the window, no good. One shot, and that's it for Buckeye Trail in this one. 35-17 now. Garaway out on top. His rich jumper doesn't go. Carpenter with the rebound. Here comes Lynn. Going to decide better against pushing it and set up the offense. Renner almost had that. Jumper from the top of the key is a 2 for Kyle Carpenter. Andy Cross said he had a foot on the line.
Yeah, Andy looked right at it. I mean, we could see it from here, but Andy, heads up, looked right at it, cleanly on two.
Nice job on the cut by Gerber, lays it up and in, and there's some of that strength we talked about. Ryan Gerber just going hard on the back cut. Foul was on Kyle Carpenter. For Buckeye Trail, this game is starting to turn into a Carpenter song. There's got to be a morning after, and I don't think so. You're pretty impressed by that, aren't you?
Anything you say impresses me, right? I find myself trying to listen to you more than even thinking about this game.
Cutting nets down and getting a little bit serious about things as we head into the sectional finals. Of course, sectional is always a 2-week period, and then 1 week for district, regional, and state.
Been in Claymont. I know a lot of people live in the area, and they're attributing that win to the white headbands that they all wore.
They look good.
Yeah.
They looked really good in them. 38-19, Garaway on top, just under 5 minutes to go in the third period. Tell you what, Claymont played better than I've seen them play all year.
Yeah.
They looked super.
Cole Pitt is definitely one of the better athletes in the area, and he came through big for him that night.
Felton almost had to steal, but nice hustle there by Kyle Carpenter to get it back. Then they turn it right back over to the Pirates. Quickly lobbed down Tyler Renner. He gets hammered in there as he reaches for his head. Sometimes it's tough being the big guy in the middle of everything.
Hope he didn't get a shot to the eye, and it looks like, I don't know if he wears contacts or not, but rubbing his eye.
Second foul on Kyle Carpenter, and nothing dirty about it. In fact, you get a guy who's been burying you in the post like he has, you might want to give him a nice rough one just to get his mind off of being so comfortable down there.
There was that reversal as we talked about all game, and Mike Felton was sitting at the top tee. I mean, he just lobbed that thing to the backboard, and boom, there came Tyler. Perfect timing.
Another thing that makes him so tough, he can hit his free throws.
Yeah.
Jeez, Al Pete. Not too much weakness in this young man's game. Just a junior, folks.
Yeah, the Garaway fan, I'm sure they're looking for big things this year, but next year I'm sure they're expecting big things.
He may not get his picture on the cover of Sports Illustrated, but I bet he makes the cover of the TR basketball promo next year. 40-19, the Pirates on top. Going baseline, Carpenter, he takes a bump, throws it up off the window, no good. And he's going to head to the free throw line.
I think Charlie's going to get Nathan Miller. Oh, man, it looked like Tyler tried to take a charge. It looked like they could have called it, but good no call, I guess you would say. You know, scores 40-19 with 4 minutes to go in the third, but continued his drive. Nathan Miller stepped in front and bumped him.
That free throw uses it all and goes down. Trail very impressive tonight from the free throw line, because they've missed only once tonight. That one's on net. 10 points now for Kyle Carpenter as he's the first Buckeye Trail player to reach double figures. Garaway right now with 2 in double figures. Renner has 18 and Regula has 15. Jump stop in the lane. Felton throws it up and in. Mike Felton has got his 4th point. 42-21. Garaway's doubled up the Warriors. Carpenter from the perimeter doesn't go. Nathan Miller, who's played a nice ball game tonight.
Yeah, this might be a game to try to get him ready for next year.
Felton off the window doesn't go. Right there, Gerber rebound doesn't go. And now Buckeye Trail pulls it in. Quick run out, but Nathan Miller steps in front of it. Miller going to settle things down a little bit. Apparently, from what I've been told, Martins Ferry's got a nice ball club, and they could meet Garaway in the district as Gerber goes baseline and takes it up and in.
Well, they better have a good ball club to stick with this team.
Of course, one bad thing is the region for Garaway. I mean, not an easy one by any doubt. Trail right now just kind of struggling to really get anything going as Felton has got all kinds of problems there. Carson Williams goes to the window, lays it up, doesn't get the fall, back up again, doesn't get it to go. Renner gets the rebound and he'll be fouled. See who they got the foul on here. They're going to call it on Carson Williams, I do believe, and that's his fourth, isn't it?
I don't know, but he said something to Charlie as he walked by, and Charlie kind of gave him
that evil eye.
That look. You don't want that look from Charlie Jones, folks.
Yeah, taking a look at the regional for Garaway, and of course we're looking way far ahead, but when you look at it, Martin Fair, as we said, in their district, a nice ball club. And of course the big thing is going to be, and they wouldn't meet them until regional finals, but Wheelersburg resides in this region as well. And of course Wheelersburg finished the year number 2 in Division III in the AP poll. So of course by the time you get to regional, I certainly hope you're not expecting to be playing the Sisters of the Poor. As Hisrich with the great move gets his first bucket of the night. But the Pirates are going to have to earn it. They're going to have to earn it.
Yeah, there's not, like you said, you get that far, they're going to earn every step they get, and they are a good enough team to get that far.
46-23, Garaway out on top. 2 minutes to go in the third period, and Lynn is going to pick up his second foul.
Mason Miller gets set to check back into the game. Back in for Hisrich again. They've been sort of swapping in and out tonight.
Yeah, when you look at it, they have so many interchangeable parts. You know, Renner and Regula, of course, Regula missed 4 games this year for disciplinary reasons, and Garaway never missed a beat. I mean, they kept right on churning. So, you know, no one part is greater than the whole sum here at Garaway. If that made sense, I will absolutely pass out. You know what I was trying to say,
yeah,
Scott.
I'm sure everybody else does. Yeah,
I'm sure. My poor mother saying she paid all that money for education, and this is what she got. Miller goes baseline. He'll stop, pull up from 10, doesn't get it to go. Buckeye Trail chases down a loose rebound, and they'll look to counter. Colvin goes baseline, kicks it out, wasn't ready for it, was Carpenter, knocked out of bounds, and will stay with Buckeye Trail. And I'll tell you what, that ought to tell you a little something about this Garaway ball club. Up 23, and you still got guys diving on the floor.
Yeah, I'm sure that they don't even look at that scoreboard. I know they know they're a good team. They know but they're going to hustle. They're not going to sit back just because they're up 23 and wait for this game to be over.
Jump stop, turn around, up on the rim, doesn't go. Gerber chases down the rebound. Gerber got somebody with him. He'll stop, pull up off the window. That's fundamentally perfect. Ryan Gerber with 7 in the quarter, 9 on the game.
Trace Colvin went down that time for Buckeye Trail.
Dave Lynn having a conversation with Charlie Jones as Colvin, looks like it might be an ankle, Scott. Twisted it up a little. That may be a knee.
Dover medical staff quickly on the court to assist.
1 minute to go here in period number 3. Roger Dominic, Scott Beitzel, and a host of others here bringing it to you. That one goes off the hands of Tyler Renner and will stay with Buckeye Trail. Of course, want to send out a thank you to Larry Wilson, the tournament manager here at Dover, always takes good care of us. Send a thank out to Rick Leggett in Clars for providing the hospitality room, which we have been frequenting between last night and tonight.
People know, and they got me and Roger now. There better be a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, Rick said I think he ordered an extra cheese tray tonight when he heard me and you were going to be here. Garaway continues the slow, methodical thumping. I tell you, they're a good ball club. They are a good ball club.
You want to call Tommy Maloney for a little bit of a body up. 32 seconds to go in the quarter. 48-23, Garaway now up.
And it is on Maloney, his first. Inbounding Buckeye Trail underneath their own bucket. Once again, you can catch it when they throw it into the backcourt like that.
And I'm sure after that first half trouble or whatever you want to call that, the coach put that in their head.
Carpenter, high arcing shot, doesn't fall. And the smallest man on the floor, Hisrich, comes down with the rebound. He'll be fouled, and that will put Garaway into the 1-and-1. Brian Carpenter picks up the foul, his third. We've been joined here at our announce position by Dick Vital's brother. Mark Wolf has stepped in here. First Mark, who took the Newcomerstown Trojans to the regionals last year. Hisrich now to the free throw line. Got 2 in this quarter, 2 for the game. That free throw a little bit off left, and it was last touched by number 30, Ryan Miller. I have a feeling we better be boning up on our roster here because we might see some different faces.
I just get ready to say, I'm glad you're keeping the book.
48-23, 10 seconds to go in the third period. 7 seconds, Lynn drives baseline, gets himself blocked off. Kicks it back out. That throw is in the air by Lashley, around but doesn't go down. And we've come to the end of 3 here at Dover High School in the Division III sectionals. The Garaway Pirates out on top of Buckeye Trail, 48-23. We're going to take a quick timeout and bring you the fourth quarter of action after you watch this. Welcome back to Dover High School as we are all set to start the fourth period of action here as Garaway outscored Buckeye Trail 22-9 in that third period, and thus their 48-23 advantage. And that one is taken away by Buckeye Trail. Scott, we'd like to make up stories about how Buckeye Trail just get a couple buckets to fall for them as Williams misses that one in close and, get themselves right back in this ball game. But
ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. Tommy Mallardy with the run out picks up his first field goal. Tommy, one of the seniors on this ball club. Good to see him getting the scoring column during tournament time.
I'll tell you, there's been a lot, as we said, a lot of new faces in the game, and in that third quarter, they did not commit a turnover, did the Garaway Pirates. Impressive.
Williams up high for the tip. That's Williams' 8th point. Yeah, well, like I said, Garaway's a good ball club. You can break it down however you want to. It's a good team. Williams with the steal. Now he'll counter on the dribble, lays it up, and doesn't get it to go, but we got a foul. I think that might be against Hisrich, and that would be his third.
I think it's Williams. He looks like a pretty good little ball, or not little, but 6'3". Looks like a good ball player, and as you say, transferred from Cambridge. You just wonder if that's because he wasn't going to get any time because of Brandon Todd and, the other guys.
But Tyler felt that Hisrich remains in the game, and actually that foul was on Nathan Miller. That was his third foul. So in either case, one of the Garaway guards has 3 fouls. Carson Williams, who has been picture perfect from the line, 5 for 5 so far on the game. Buckeye Trail, I tell you, what the youth they got, Scott, they could be looking at a bright future.
I'd say you got to build somewhere, and hey, maybe this is the building year, as you want to call it. Look for positive things in the future. Same thing for the Pirates. I mean, they're looking for positive things now and the future.
And from the stories I heard, Garaway's junior high 7th grade team was unbelievable. Now, of course, there's a long way to go before you get to playing varsity basketball, but from what I heard, the foundation is pretty sturdy out in Sugar Creek.
And that's what a good coach will do for you. He starts program at the bottom and works his way up, and it shows dividends, and they're definitely getting their pay out there in Garaway.
Well, I tell you what, Scott Bardall has impressed me from day one. When he first got there, they weren't 19-1. They were losing some ball games. He kept coaching. Now he's reaping the benefits. And one of the things I think you see now, too, is the emphasis on assistant coaches is so high. And you see a lot of good head coaches, but their assistants are younger, inexperienced, and your team pays a penalty. Well, I'll tell you what, Garaway's got one of the best assistants around in Greg Lauer. As kissing it off the window is Ryan Gerber to give him 11. And Scott Bardall will be the first one to tell you how important Greg Lauer is to this ball club, but a guy like him on the bench, you aren't going to miss too many. Carson Williams gets himself into double digits with 12. Scramble for it. Mallardy comes up with it. Can he poke it? No. I was getting all excited, Scott. I thought we might get to see a little rim wrecking going on, but Tommy I'm going to lay this one up nicely off the glass.
Yeah, that first half when Tyler
I couldn't even play the level to play at high school, so what he does, I don't even comprehend.
I was going to say, I hope we don't start talking about your career again here.
Oh, yeah, well, that would be a short conversation. Trail brings it into the front court with just under 5.5 to go in the ball game. Garaway on top, 54-29. Reaching foul out on top, and that'll be against Tommy Maloney. Tommy, one of those guys who, when Garaway lost a couple players to disciplinary reasons, Tommy stepped in and played a big role for Scott Bardall. That one taken away by Ari Yoder, another one of those guys who plays important minutes off the bench.
Yeah, Ari comes into the game, he gives nothing but 100%, and there, another excellent defensive play by him.
Maloney puts it on the floor. Of course, as we said, only 3 seniors on this ball club for Garaway. As Ari Yoder, he must have listened to us, knocks that down for us.
And there you can tell the fans appreciate his effort. You know, I'm not saying that's his first basket of the year. I'm sure it's not, but when he scored, everybody was standing ovation.
Nice move and take to the hoop by Jason Lynn of Buckeye Trail. 56-31, Garaway on top. Of course, you got to remember, folks, when you go watch these Garaway games and you see how prepared they look, is that one's taken away by Colvin. The reason they're prepared is those other guys on the bench working their tail off in practice to give the varsity a good look. Lynn puts it up from the elbow, no good. Tyler Renner draws it in. You know something else I like about Tyler Renner? He don't talk, he just baseline to baseline, does his job. Never see him whine into an official.
Yeah, that's one thing, getting worse as the years go on, and kids crying to the officials, and that's the coach's job. The kids are supposed to be out there giving 100%. They call a foul, they call the foul.
And, I was glad to see as Renner's going to head to the free throw line after that foul. I was glad to see this year in college ball, they started cracking down. They had a couple incidents in a couple different conferences, and the commissioners from those conferences cracked down hard on those teams. Glad to see that. There's no place for that in basketball. And really, to me, a player can talk to an official, and good officials talk to players.
Right.
I like that. But, the whining and then all the trash talking and everything, it doesn't bother me. A guy reminds a guy he might be a little bit better than him. But to do it for 32 minutes, unnecessary. Tyler Renner is going to head to the bench for what will probably be the last time tonight. He's got 20 on the ball game. And taking a look free throw line-wise, he was 8 for 9 from the free throw line tonight. So, young man's got game.
That's the point you made in the first half. You can be an excellent layup, like Shaquille O'Neal, for example. He dunks every time he gets the ball, but when you foul him and put him on the line, he can't score. Tyler Renner can do it all, so you can't just go out there and hack him.
That 3 in the air and knocked down by Kyle Carpenter. Kyle with 13 in the ball game. Been a bright spot here for this Buckeye Trail Ball Club, and even brighter, he's only a freshman. Tommy Maloney takes the 3, rim no good, rebound down into the hands of Ryan Miller. He gets his shot blocked, and now Buckeye Trail will come the other way. Maloney takes this one. Can he get his steps together? Oh my. Kyle Carpenter pinned it off the glass. Young freshman now going to come down, put the 3 in the air.
Get his own rebound, even though he didn't follow it. It was long enough.
Say, I got my rebound, I'm shooting it again. And he buries it.
Tell you what, Coach Lynn's finding something out right here about his young freshman.
You ain't a kidding. 16 in the ball game as that one was almost taken away. What do we got? I heard a whistle blow.
I think Charlie might be calling a kick on that.
Well, see, that was just it. I heard Charlie's whistle blow, and I'm not used to that.
Yeah, you don't look for it in that direction.
Yeah.
Ooh.
John Hisrich back in the ball game. 58-37, Garaway on top. And I believe they're going to get Colvin there for saddling up. Of course, got the hubbub last night. Rumor has it that Shaquille and Kobe were at the field house last night watching St. Vincent St. Mary play Orange.
Well, they got a picture of Shaquille there. Kobe, I didn't hear he was there. Shaquille was there with Ron Harper and a couple other of his entourage.
Probably Kobe just probably sent his shoes again.
Yeah, and they showed Shaquille sitting right beside LeBron's mother and father, so maybe they're trying to lure him out to Los Angeles there.
I think they're more trying to get him to Adidas. That's the big question right now. That jumper by Colvin, he knocks that down. Trace Colvin gets his first bucket of the ball game. Buckeye Trail certainly not giving up. They're continuing to battle right to the very end.
60-39, as you said, they're running all. If they'd done this the whole game, they might have had a chance to stay in this game, but they probably couldn't have kept that intensity up for that long.
Well, I think in that first quarter at least, they were just maybe a little bit in awe of just how good this Garaway ball club really is, as Hisrich doesn't get it to go. Hisrich, though, gets the steal on the other end. And, that's once again a credit, too, I think, to Tyler Renner. Great ball players always get your team off to a good start, and that's what Tyler Renner and John Regula did tonight. Gives the other guys a chance to kind of get everything loose and get the feel for the gym. Felton has it taken away from him there, and they're going to call the tie up, and it will go over to Buckeye Trail. Number 32, Brian Lash into the ball game. So Scott Bardall, as we said, getting some of those 8, 9, 10 guys on his bench in.
As you said, the ones that he knows in practice is the reason his team's as good as they are.
And folks, that is definitely not a backhanded compliment. Spending years, as Williams gets it to go and draws a foul, spending a few years myself coaching and JV ball clubs and everything, you got to believe those kids are the backbone of the team. You need a good second group to push your varsity every day in practice. Williams finally misses a free throw, his first miss of the night. 60-41, Garaway on top. Minute and a half to go. Miller gets it ahead to Lash.
At this point in the game, you usually say this is the future for the winning teams. They're trying to put all their younger players in, but for Garaway, their future starts.
Future now.
How nice is that?
It is I tell you, it's a solid program, top to bottom. Free throw line right now is Nathan Miller. Double bonus in effect. He nails the first one.
Comes some more substitutions for the Pirates. Number 20, Ben Hirschberger. Number 22, we don't have.
They say it's Zach Fanning.
Yeah.
Zach Fanning gets into the ball game. Zach, a 5'8" freshman.
All right, I believe number 44 is Michael Miller, who also came into the game. 5'10" sophomore.
Okay, so 44. Get this in our book here. Of course, if they make the TV2 book, it is official. 3 in the air, off rim, no good. Carson Williams with the rebound. Lefty lays it off the window, doesn't get the fall. Nice rebound in there by number 52, Travis Watson. He's a sophomore. Number 4, Todd Warhola gets a shot in the air, doesn't go. Tommy Maloney with another rebound as we're under 40 seconds to play in the ball game. A little bit ragged, as games will tend to get at the end when the differential is this big. Carson Williams going to take the 3. Of course, that young man playing in his last high school game, and he wants to get every second imaginable in there. Of course, as we said, Scott, seniors tournament time is golden to them because that's it. Take that uniform off that last time, boy. It's something you'll remember for the rest of your life. Maloney kicks it out. Number 20 is Ben Hirschberger. That's knocked away, and it will go to Buckeye Trail with 9.2 seconds on the clock. Garaway's going to advance. They will come back next Thursday, play for a sectional championship. As we said, they will face the winner of Coshocton and Harrison Central. 7 seconds on the clock. Warhola throws it up, doesn't get it to go. Maloney, that will not count even if it would go, and Garaway has won the first game of the tournament for them in 2002. We'll be right back to wrap this one up and to let you know where you can find cable TV 2 throughout the rest of the sectional tournament.